All right. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Real Talk with Michelle podcast. This is episode number 80, Real Talk with Mindset Healing Coach, Yaminah Mitchell. Welcome to the show, Yaminah.
Thank you. Yaminah. It is pronounced Yaminah.
Yaminah.
It's okay. I've heard it all kinds of ways.
Yaminah. Got it.
Yes.
Yaminah, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
So I started a life coaching business in February because I had gone through my own journey of healing and improving my life. And in addition to that, I work a full-time accounting job, and I've been in corporate America all my life. I'm from Knoxville, no kids and no pets. I had a cat once, but don't want any more responsibility.
Listen, I understand. My pet passed last month, and it took a little bit of an adjustment because it was a dog. I'm like used to going outside and doing stuff, but now I'm like, wow, this is how the other people live.
The freedom.
Man, that's nice. Like I don't have to pop back home and walk my dog and stuff. I'm gonna take a couple years. I'm gonna take a couple years and focus on myself.
Absolutely. And I had a cat, so I did not have to pop in to let her out. But it's still, there's still a being there that you have to care for. So,
exactly.
and I had her for almost 20 years, and I don't want to go through the process of having a pet child and then watching them get old and go again. I don't have to do it.
It's too much. That's what I said. I was like, that was a lot. That's the part that you don't think of is
their family. Yeah.
And the eventual end. And I was a mess. So tell me, I know you said you went through your own healing journey, but what made you like really interested in coaching?
So in the process of going through my own healing journey, there was also the challenge presented before me of, well, what are you going to do? Like, what is your purpose? Are you living that? And I was like, no, not really. I mean, I don't mind showing up to my job. I went to college for accounting, but I have always naturally been the person who people gravitate towards for insight and advice and all of it. So I've been coaching my whole life for free. And so I decided I might as well hone this skill set and charge and get paid for the value that I can provide.
I agree. Pretty much the same path. I'm like, I've been doing this, and people seem to value things that I say. They follow them, and if they have good results, I'm like, okay. So I definitely feel you there. What do you notice about women in the healing space? What are you noticing about the women whom you coach?
It appears that a lot of women don't feel they have permission to care about just themselves. Everything has to be about everybody else. And the idea of focusing on themselves is like, well, do I really need to be doing this? Couldn't I really be doing this over here instead? Like if they have kids or whatever the case may be. Women just don't feel like they have the permission to explore themselves, do what they want and need for themselves, separate from other people.
I agree with that. I agree with that. When you sent over your bio, and I think you sent me like a Facebook message, and I was like, I'm low-key like a client. Like, through my own like healing journey, I realized that I was always just almost just really doing what other people needed me to do. And then like you said, I was last, and ultimately being last, I was exhausted. So then the things that I really wanted to do got neglected because it was time to go to sleep by the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which I learned was just leading to more burnout and, which I'm sure you probably noticed in your practice, that just overall neglect for myself.
Yeah.
Like, that was
Yeah.
really it.
And I did a live yesterday. You cannot pour from an empty cup. We try, we can't. We just can't.
Just cannot do it. You're teaching women to take care of themselves first before others. What does that look like?
So it depends on each person. Everybody comes from different backgrounds with their different experiences in life. And so it may look like self-worth, building confidence, and working on speaking kindly to yourself. A lot of us, even if we're not consciously saying things out loud that are rude, we subconsciously let things float around in our heads that should not be occupying mental space rent-free.
You're right about you are right about that. Let's see. How has your own healing helped you in your coaching practice?
I would say a lot of the application are things that I myself have gone through, and it's like, if I were on the other end of this, how would I receive this? What would I want this to look like? And so even down to having the coaching session and having recap notes. If I'm in a session, I'm not thinking about taking notes feverishly. I want to get what I'm there for. And so just having a brief little recap of what the goal is for next week or in the next couple of weeks. And what else? What was the question again?
How has your own healing kind of helped you in your coaching?
Yeah. The beauty of coaching is that even though you're in this space, you never stop learning. And that was another thing that attracted me to this space, because I read a book, I just finished it, called How to Do the Work. The 4-hour work week. I'm constantly learning and reading new ways to improve myself, and in turn can provide that to the clients that I work with.
Yes, I saw that. I did look at your book list. I've read Atomic Habits. I was kind of at the end of it. Let me not say read. Listen to.
Oh, girl, I'm an audio as well. I'm an audio reader as well.
Listen, I was like, sometimes I have time to sit down. Sometimes I'm moving around, but I can take in the night, like you said, like when you went on a walk earlier, like those are times I can listen to books. And then the Untethered Soul, which I did an episode on the podcast. But I think you had 2 other ones on there, and I was like, I haven't read these. I'm interested in how to do the work. That looks like it would be a really good read.
I just finished that one and I did really enjoy it. I think she gave very easy to implement practical tips. And she didn't lie about it, just it being work. Healing is work. There is no way around it. You're going to ugly cry. You're going to have temper tantrums and everything in between. Nobody gets to bypass it.
No. And if you haven't, I'm looking at you side-eyed, because you obviously, you didn't really get deep up in there.
Yeah. So you didn't go deep enough if you ain't still ebbing and flowing.
Exactly. Or if it just didn't take you out. Because I definitely had some therapy sessions where I was telling my my guy friend, I said, every time I used to leave therapy, I was exhausted. Like, would come home and like pass out for like 2 hours. It was like some kind of like exorcism happened in there. Every time I left,
my therapist,
good.
My therapist brought that up. I think we had a session last week, and she was like, I remember there was a time when you were crying every week. I said, girl, I'm so glad to be past that part, because it was tough going for a bit there. And I was like, do I want to keep doing this? I mean, I can't like go backwards though, so I have to keep going.
How do you deal with tough moments that come up in your coaching sessions?
I don't know if I have experienced anything tough yet.
Okay.
Yeah. The coaching sessions have not been the tough bit. It has been the learning of the technology, to do the
Mhm.
marketing and the social media of it all. That has been the tough part because I didn't social media for real before I
You
decided
know?
to step into this space. Like I'd post pictures of food or if I was somewhere, but every day, who Lord, it makes you work for it.
It definitely makes you work for it. I feel like
Mhm.
every coach has this love-hate relationship with social media. Like we know how it works, like what it's for, what it does. But some
Yes.
days life calls and like sitting down to like batch content or make content,
Yes.
especially when you're a in the moment person, is hard.
Hmm.
I'm like, I don't know what I want to say Friday on
Girl,
Monday. Like,
that was me on Sunday. I said, okay, I have my topic for my live. What
yes,
are the 3 tips that I'm going to leave behind? What's the filler stuff? And I
yes,
was just sitting here and I said, I don't know. And I was
right.
frustrated, but I mean, you got to come up with it because I work a full-time job also. So I've got to do it when I can get it in.
Anyways, to make it easy. I feel you on that. A lot of stuff of mine is automated
Hmm.
for
I'm
sure.
working on that. I'm working on getting to automation, and that's something I'm going to have to learn too. But yeah.
It definitely is a beginning of the month. I got ahead of it because January is that new
Hmm.
year. I'm gonna knock this out. So I did a
Oh, yeah.
lot of scheduling. So now I'm like, whoo, I'm like, I'm pushing it forward versus like being behind on it. So like I'm
Hmm.
kind of in July now, and I'm like, all right, I can kind of take a
Nice.
minute.
Yes.
um, I saw on your thing, I didn't click on it, but what are your nudge journal prompts? Like, what's that about?
So it's not me, it's just a referral link. But for me, I know that in the past I have journaled when things were bad.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got to a space where things stopped being bad regularly. You
Yeah.
get a sprinkle of bad here and there, but it's like, well, I still want to journal because I enjoy that practice.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Nudge Journal, they'll send you prompts 3 times a week and they'll give you a couple of different options. And you tell them what option you want to work with that particular day, and they'll send you a prompt, a few questions, and you are prompted to do your journaling. And so I get mine on Tuesday. I think everybody maybe, but Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday evening, I get those prompts.
Uh,
Mhm.
that's
And
actually
it's about different things. I mean, it can be about goals that you got coming up, about enhancing friendships or family relationships. It's literally anything. They throw all kinds of stuff out there. So I like that it's a variety and then I don't have to come up with my own prompts.
yeah. Listen, like you said, I was thinking today, I was like, I haven't really journaled, but it's because it's really peaceful.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't have anything taking up extra space in my brain right now. So I'm just like, I would really just be saying good morning and like
Hmm.
talking about what I'm gonna do for the day. So I'm like, okay, it's like I'm in a little moment, but I wouldn't mind getting like some journal prompts to like push me to
Yeah.
further write other
I
than
think I signed up for those in maybe like December.
uh-huh.
And I've been getting them, yeah. And I do them. If I don't do them that night, I'll do them the next morning before I
Yeah,
start my day. So, but I really enjoy them.
I like that.
Mhm.
What are some of the things that you're teaching your clients about self-care?
Boundaries,
Okay. Big,
boundaries for
big thing.
sure. Yes, boundaries for sure. Um, Scheduling, not feeling overwhelmed with having this huge to-do list, but chunking it down into bite-sized pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, if there is some project that you need to work on, how often are you wanting to work on that? How long is it going to take you to accomplish that from beginning to end? And how can you break that up throughout the week and schedule it in so that it gets done and it doesn't feel like you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off?
Right.
Hmm.
So important. That's definitely one of the things I taught myself or I started to implement because you know how that goes. Like we want to jump all in and be like, this is gonna be perfect, but we know it's trial
Hmm.
and error. But like going through and actually doing it. But I started to like you said, not make long lists of Monday, I
Mhm.
got to do all this, because you're
Yep.
setting yourself up to feel defeated, one,
Yep.
like at the beginning of the week, which is
Absolutely.
a mindset thing. So I just started to just put 2 or 3 things that were realistic for me to do.
Yep.
And if it was a day that I had something else to do, or I plan to not have something to do, which is what
Mhm.
people don't do enough. I'm
I'll
like,
say, because that's important too. You got to have that planned, nothing to do time.
yes, I'm like, Wednesdays are a day where it's like, if I want to do something work
Yeah.
related, I can, but if not, like, it's fine to not do anything. But
Yeah.
I felt more, which is the hacks of life. I felt more accomplished. I was just
Yeah.
like, okay, like I got these
Yeah.
three little things done. Instead of being like, okay, there's 10 things left because I wrote everything on Monday. Now I suck. And it's weird. Like, it's just little
Yes.
baby things that you just do
Yeah.
different. Like, split those 10 things up.
Yeah. And yeah, like I have a running list of to do, because entrepreneurship, there's always something to do.
Listen. Yes.
But there's the list of things that I can immediately jump into that I just need to sit down and schedule into my schedule.
Mhm.
And then there's a list of things that I know it's going to be a little more involved. And so I'm going to have to actually spend some time, like maybe doing some research, and then maybe doing a this and then doing a that before I can get to the finished product. And so I'm going to have to set time aside to like break out those things individually, instead of saying, I'm going to do LMNOP and it's 77 steps and I'm trying to do it on a Tuesday for 2 hours. And that's just not realistic.
Exactly. How is it? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying,
How has it been for you? And this is coach to coach, just putting your like ideologies together, like processes that you want to use in your coaching, that you want to make anchors, at least until you learn something new that you want to use instead. Like, how's that been going for you?
Slow.
Okay. Okay, I feel the same
Slow.
way.
Yeah.
So this is comforting.
Slow. It feels so. I have a bajillion ideas and everything sounds great and fun and shiny, but like reeling it in and making it comprehensive, because like even in my current day job, I'm really good at taking information, digesting it, and then breaking it down into plain term language.
Yes.
And so I'm working on doing the same thing within the coaching space. And so like when my client might need something, then that's like, okay, I know about this. I've got resources, because usually when I read books and listen to podcasts and things, I'm always taking notes because I'm a nerd. I can't help it.
Same.
And so then I'm like, okay, well, this is what we're working on for the next couple of weeks. Let me pull something together here and give this as a resource, kind of see how this lands. So yeah, it's all trial and error.
It is. It definitely is. And I wanted to ask you that like on my own. That wasn't even a question I wrote down, but because I'm trying to do the same thing, like make it's almost like you're making a curriculum. I feel like I'm like a teacher or something.
A whole syllabus. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So I'm like, I gotta get this stuff together. And I know it's gonna come. I'm very big on creative energy. And I know sometimes if you try to force it, it feels forced, and it will feel like that when you're trying to implement it with people. So
yeah. And I think that's the other thing that's kind of held me back also, because entrepreneurship, I've done it a little. I've stuck my toe in the waters. I have a mobile notary business as well. That I've had for like 3 years. But this is different. It requires my brain to operate different and come up with things in a different way. And so I'm mindset shifting in the midst of learning these things and implementing these things and sharing it with the world. And so it's like, does this make sense? And then it's always like, I know where I'm currently at, but I am helping people that may not be where I currently am. And so what do I need to say that's going to land with somebody that's where I've been? And so having to go back in time, like, okay, well, how did I feel? What was going on? What emotions was I experiencing? Like it's It's like I have to jump in a time machine to go gather intel to bring it forth and then make it make sense.
Exactly. It's very true though, because
Yeah.
that's essentially how you will pull in ideal clientele, is
Yeah.
describing the feeling or the thing that brought you to where you are, like you said. And it wasn't the same person either. It's like, yeah. I definitely remember the beginning part of like where I started to go on a healing journey, like the words that stood out to me then versus now. I'm like, oh girl, no, I don't deal with that no more. Like, boundaries, what? I got them. Like, but other people don't. So like you have to, pull out things that you might have conquered a little bit to catch the attention of the clients. Talk about, I like to ask everybody this, like, what are some of the tools that you use kind of in your practices that you can't live without?
Like in my personal life practice or in my coaching practice or anywhere?
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing I absolutely cannot live without is my morning routine.
Man, I'm a morning girl, baby.
Girl. An hour every morning at least, sometimes an hour and a half, depending on how long I decide to read something a little longer, or if I need to journal a little bit, or if I need to pull an oracle card. It depends on the morning.
The cards, I pull cards every now and then too, and I got questions.
Yeah, but I have my so I got my morning routine from a book called The Morning Miracle by Hal Elrod. Okay. And it is savers. And so it's silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. And so I don't do all of those things every single morning, but I do a combination of at least 3 or 4 of them for sure.
Yeah.
And it keeps me grounded. I remember when I first started in this coaching space and I was overly eager to get everything done because I can't help myself. I get excited and it's like, go, go, go.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would skip my morning practice. And I was like, girl, we are waking up a little tired. We're not slowing down enough to like breathe and make sure we're good. So we have to keep doing that. So the morning routine, not negotiable. And I'm working on implementing the evening routine.
Okay. I feel the same way. Morning, I like have it all together. I'm up early. I do all my stuff. Yeah. And then evening is somewhere between, it's like 7. And then the next thing I know is 10 p.m. And then I'm like, I just got to like jump in the bed. Like I don't know when it happens. Like I promise it's like 7, boom, 10. And I'm just like, how did it get to be 10 p.m.? And now I don't know how the girls do it. I've watched the evening routine, YouTube and everything. And I'm like, y'all look real cute. Like it didn't just get to be like super late real quick. Yeah. Or do y'all go to bed at 8 o'clock? Like I got to figure out.
Yeah. And then like people suggest cutting TV off and putting your phone away 2 hours before. But I feel like I do so much throughout the day that watching the TV is the wind down for me. Yeah. And so I need this practice to be simple. Like I've just been doing like a gratitude practice and maybe a meditation, but it's not been anything extensive. Sometimes I color.
Yeah. I have one of those little coloring books and I think I did a page and I was like, I got to get something bigger. I need to go and just get the little ones with all the little lines. It's not for me.
But yeah, that evening routine is nothing lengthy because it, like you said, I look up and I'm like, damn, when did it turn 10 o'clock? And it's bedtime. Yeah. Or I done fell asleep because I thought I was going to do just a little something extra and then the sleep snatched me.
I know, that's how I feel. Even when I turn on the TV, they're like, turn it off. I'm like, oh, don't worry. I'm about to be sleeping 10 minutes. I already know this. Like, so I'm really just turning it on. And usually I will turn on like, my new favorite thing are these beach wave sounds with like black screen on YouTube or like rain. Oh my God, I'd be knocked out.
Yeah.
I will say that's a part of my evening routine, just turning on the TV and turning on sound. Falling asleep. But I think you're probably right about just keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Just need to like take a
Because I
shower.
can commit to an hour in the morning, but I don't think that I have an hour in the evening too.
Mm.
Not yet. Maybe when I don't care about TV, but I don't feel like I watch a lot of TV, so I'm not willing to give it up.
Same. I don't. And it's very specific programming, so I don't feel like I'm being fed anything I don't want to like see. Like, I don't watch violent things at night or anything like that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm keeping the
Same. Same. Except some anime. It's been a little violent, but it's cartoons. It doesn't feel as bad.
Do you like who's been your most important mentor? Such a pivot, but I like to ask people.
Yeah. I want to say it's been like a combination of people. So I had a coach. I did a 3-month boot camp to lay all of the structural foundation of things for my business. So contracts and onboarding and welcome letters and putting the package together and pricing and all the things and networking of it all day.
Yeah.
And so she was very helpful. And she's got a Facebook group that I'm still a part of. And then my therapist, she is an entrepreneur. And so she then knows things. And she's also like my number one cheerleader. So that's real helpful.
Awesome.
And then I just actually signed up for 2 mentors. One I've talked to more recently, and she's helping me with the networking piece of things, like getting out there, getting the exposure, meeting people and all of that, because your girls never had to do any of that for this state job that I have.
That's right.
And I got to do it so people know who I am. I can't be the best kept secret.
Exactly. And
so,
yeah, it's almost like in the coaching sphere, also actively changing your mindset, like at the whole time, because you know what little like coach you want to be. We see the people, we see their success, and we're like, okay, I need to be like that. But then it's still like fighting yourself sometimes to be like, I can do that.
Yeah.
Like it's just right there, but pushing out of like the comfort zones.
Yeah.
You'll be doing good work. I think a lot of, myself included, women need to know that it's okay to want anything. More,
girl, yes.
More is, if you want it and you can think about it, you can have it.
Absolutely.
And telling people that sometimes I know is like such a foreign thing, to be like, you can do whatever you want to do, you can be whoever you want to be, you can change your personality, anything as much as you want to.
Yeah, you can wake up a whole new you tomorrow if you want.
If you feel like it, you can start calling you another name. And what we gonna do? Call you that? If that's what you want to go by now, like, but that's gonna be real good work for the collective of women, for sure.
And we need that, because I don't feel like I've ever had that kind of encouragement. Like even last year I was like, I'm gonna do a business and I want to make 6 figures. And I said, you know what? Damn that. I want to make 7 figures.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I kept doing workshops and learning from different people who have been in this space. And there's women out here making 8 figures. And I started following some of them, because,
I do too.
I'm ready to go wherever this money wants to pile in from.
If from your own experience, like it ain't even no pretending. It's things that you went through and learned yourself. And I've definitely followed some where I'm like, to even chat with them, you got to have like $100,000.
Yeah.
Like, damn, what's up? Like try to get there, but some work must be done before then. Some layers have to be knocked off in there too.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready to I told my mom, I said, I'm tired of living a broke bitch life. I need maids, I need chefs, I want a yacht, I want to do things that I didn't think I could do.
Okay. Shoot, I told my brother, I don't like shopping, but somebody can personal shop for me. That's just kind of who I am. He was like, I could definitely see somebody bringing you clothes to the house and you buy them all and not even go nowhere. I'm like, that's the kind of life I need. That kind
Exactly.
of. So I gotta get busy. How does your spirituality help you balance your mental health and your self-care and wellness practices?
I would say it reminds me that it's bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Having a practice reminds me that it is not just about me, but I have to show up and do the work. And I also have to be able to be present in the things that I do. And it's important to still enjoy life. And so it keeps me balanced.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel like we have a lot of similarities. I really did have to teach myself, like, right now is the only thing that really exists. Like, we can plan for future and everything, but like not so much that I give myself an anxiety attack thinking about it. And then realizing that the past only happened to help me get to where I am. So no need
Absolutely.
well on that. So being present is the best gift I can give myself. Very much so in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this Untethered Soul book I'm hoping it will give me the insight that I feel like I need to get over this hump of, I don't want to be bothered by things outside of me. Because I know that things outside of me aren't a personal attack on me. Yeah. But you go through life and you live it a certain way and you think about things a certain way, and to unprogram yourself from operating in that space, it's work. And that's my next thing that I want to accomplish, because I want to be like a Buddha, just calm, just peace within and without, regardless. It's like, oh, that car ran into me, no big deal. It's a car. Things happen. Yeah. Life goes on. I'm good.
and that's like also same there, because like on my bathroom mirror, it's like, don't take anything personal and don't make assumptions, which just encompasses all of that. Like nothing has it. Whenever people act a certain way, I be like, that don't got nothing to do with me. That's just what I be saying to myself. That don't got nothing to do with your anger, like any type of behavior that you have, like none of it has anything to do with me. And
I'll say out loud, I'll be like to myself, I'll be like, no, that's a you thing. Okay.
Right. I'm good. Like I can remove myself from the situation, but no longer letting it get me angry. I used to just little stuff used to just send me in the tizzy, and it's like not anything.
Yes, tizzy.
No, it was a tizzy, girl. I mean, like out of here, like out of body experience, like nervous system frazzle, and it's been the most freeing to just be like, that don't got nothing to do with me. And just keep it moving. Like, period.
Yeah, I want so much more of that in my life. So yes.
Yes. Okay. So I am a certified life coach specializing in happiness, fulfillment, and purpose. Tell me what your idea of happiness is and something that you're grateful for today.
My idea of happiness. It would just have to be doing things that make you happy, that light you up, that enhance your energy, not things that suck and drain you.
Yes.
Or bypassing doing things so that you can have that happy space. I am a recovering people pleaser, and so no is one of my favorite words. Because I don't have to commit to all the things that I used to feel like I had to commit to. And just having that freedom makes me happy.
Yes. No, I 100% agree with you there. Like, I don't feel any kind of way saying no anymore. Like, oh, and people are like, what are you about to do? I'm like, I'm like literally nothing. I just don't want to.
My best friend said one time, she said, because she's a therapist, and she told one of her clients, she said, my best friend just says no. And she'll be like, well, why? And she'll be like, I just don't want to. And that is me. If I don't want to, I'm not explaining myself. I said no. I said what I said.
And people learn. Like, they really do. I said, I have a friend who like respects, like she'll invite me to do something and I might do it, but she know like there's a point in the night where I get dropped off, like I'm going home. It's probably like 8
Mhm.
p.m. I'm finished. And
Yeah.
I respect that I'll invite her somewhere in the morning and she not up. I don't get mad at
Yeah.
her. It's just
Yeah.
so we've
Yeah.
learned to like work with each other.
We respect people's boundaries.
Yeah,
That's what we're learning to do. And it feels good when you can just freely be you
yeah,
and people just allow it and not try to make you feel bad about it.
please. Cause
Um,
it doesn't work
yeah.
anymore.
So I
Doesn't
guess I would say that just piggybacking off of that, I'm grateful that I have people in my life now that respect my time and respect my no.
yes. It's the best.
Yeah. Because I don't have to like be on more than I really feel like it. I can just be me. And I am loved and appreciated just the same.
And we are finally getting to this space and this age where like that's a thing, like just letting people be what they are. Either you want to accept it or you don't. You have the option. It is yours and yours only.
Yeah.
And it's so much more peaceful.
It
It's
is.
so peaceful. Just so peaceful. That's why I told people I'm grateful for today, just peace. Like I
Mhm.
could tell when it started happening in the healing journey. I'm like, ooh, okay, I think it's finally quiet. And you know, like your body is like, why is it quiet? You know, trauma
Yeah.
makes you like it's too quiet. Let's
Yeah.
start some shit. But that's how I used to be. Like
Yeah.
the worst.
Yeah.
Like, let's start a party. Like, just
Yeah.
start being manipulative. I'm very glad to be out of that, but it just, I'm finally at a place where it's like, there is really no resistance happening.
Mhm.
Chill.
Absolutely.
It's a really beautiful place.
Yes,
It's
it
very
is.
beautiful. Um, so this will wrap up the episode. Tell the listeners how they can find you.
So you can go to yaminahmitchell.com and that will take you to all of my bio links for Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all of that. It's spelled YAMINAHMITCHELL.com. And that gives you everything. If you don't want to go to the website, you can just type in Coach Yams with a Z. Pretty much everywhere because I have claimed that name everywhere I could.
Oh,
Even on YouTube. Girl, I'm everywhere. Coach Yams is everywhere.
I love that. Do you like to be called Coach Yams?
Yes.
Yeah, I like
People
it.
call me Yams anyway, so you know I'm a coach now. Just call me Coach Yams.
I love it.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the episode. I'm so grateful and appreciative. Do you have anything else you want to say before we leave out?
Thank you for having me. And we don't have to do shit out of obligation no more. Let's stop. You need help with it? Holla at your girl.
Yes, hit her up, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning
Yes.
in, and we'll talk to you again next week. Bye.
Yeah.